Previously on Horizon. As a flag dropped for the 2024 Sasol Solar Challenge, Day 1 set the tone, with blazing speeds, bold moves, and heartbreaking consequences. Underdogs EV Next and Carpe Diem pushed to make their mark, testing their teamwork and their resilience. For TUT, the challenge was over before it even began. A near-fatal crash at the first control stop took them out of the competition. At the first control stop, Inoptus, Brunel, and Twente faced their first major decision. Risk extra loops for the chance to pull ahead, or play it safe and risk losing ground. Inoptus rolled the dice, the gamble that changed everything. But none fell further than Solaris. Over 200 kilometers behind the leaders, their resolve was shaken, but the road is still long, the sun is ever unforgiving, and the seemingly simplest decisions stand between victory and disaster. This is Horizon.
Good morning and welcome to the start of Day 2 of the 2024 Sasol Solar Challenge. My name is Rob Walker and we're here in Sasolburg.
As the sun rises on Day 2 of the Sasol Solar Challenge, so too does the pressure. After a night of rest and recalibration, teams are back on the starting line, fine-tuning, strategizing, and ready to chase the horizon once more.
Anything you can share with us, or is everything but a top secret this morning?
Strategy is obviously top secret.
100%.
But yeah, I'm curious on what the other teams will do, and we have definitely calculated our things. So let's see what the day brings.
How's the team feeling? How's the vibe in the camp this morning?
Team is feeling perfect. Everything is completely going to plan. So
Awesome. So everything's completely going to plan. Doing your strategy, your challenge to how you guys are, and making the others chase you down the road.
Indeed.
Awesome. One last question. What are we looking forward to on Day 2? What is there? Do we see opportunities for the team, or is it just it's your strategy in your place? Do what you need to do and let the others chase you.
Yeah, today it's the marathon stage, so it's we're gonna drive carefully.
Yeah.
And also we're gonna drive through busy roads. So we'll see. It's gonna be a challenge today.
I was surprised. I expected all three teams to just essentially match each other loop for loop, get into our night stop in Sasolburg at the same time or as close to each other as possible. The next day being the Saturday and more of an open road day, I thought maybe that's where they would start to. I guess Inoptus had a different idea.
But yeah, we took a risk. We have to stand still for 36 minutes today, so it will be an exciting day, and let's see what gives the day.
As the top three bite down for a fight and EV Next prepares to beat their best, the flag goes down to start the day.
In Day 1 we managed to accumulate 129 kilometers. We want to exceed that target today. We've already marked out which parts of the route we're going to do, and we've already planned out what speeds we're going to undertake on each section of the road. And if all goes according to plan, we should be able to surpass what we did yesterday.
Day 2 begins with a bang. Inoptus Solar Team rolls out in the lead, but their grip on the front is anything but secure. Right behind them, Brunel and Twente are locked in a fierce chase, ready to steal the lead at the first opportunity. And it doesn't take long. Just a few kilometers from the start, Brunel makes their move, overtaking Inoptus and snatching first place. A bold statement this early in the day, but can they make up enough kilometers to hold on to their lead? Further down the line, Team Bumalanga's Razor steals 4th place as Solaris struggles to chase lost ground. Meanwhile, in the Cruiser and Innovation class, Honda Solari leads the pack, with EV Next following closely and Carpe Diem and Unisa start to gain momentum as the day's kilometers tick by on the way to Day 2's control stop.
Hi, Team Carpe Diem again. So what's happening now, we just came here. We're about to do our hot laps. Then after we do our hot laps, we're gonna relax for 30 minutes. Then we hit the open road again. We'll be driving, if I'm not mistaken, to our next point. But then we're very confident. Even the car hasn't been giving us problems.
Day Day 2's control stop in Rustenburg has teams across the log in bright spirits with the sun high and hot. But yesterday's brave victors, Inoptis, have a 36-minute penalty to serve before they can go out for any loops. And after Brunel unexpectedly overtook them this morning, standing still at the control stop will cost them a lot more than they bargained for.
So they have to balance up that whatever they gain by doing an extra loop on this, in this case day 1, they could potentially lose by sitting idle at the control stop on day 2.
Inoptus, time check, 1 minute!
After serving their penalty, Inoptis finally hits the road, but motor controller issues mean they struggle to make up for lost time. Brunel looked unstoppable this morning, charging out of the gate and overtaking Inoptis. But speed comes at a cost. During a loop, their motor burnt out, forcing a frantic roadside exchange. Now, for a solar car, the motor is everything because it's solely responsible for converting precious, limited solar energy into motion. When it fails, the whole car becomes dead weight. And for this to happen on day 2 of 8, that's not just a setback, it's a gut punch to team morale.
They had a backup motor that they were able to replace it with. Sometimes things just don't work out, and this is part of solar cars. And I like to, we're here for teams to test things, and they are going to break them. It's part of why we make this so hard, because if it was easy, you would never find the limit. So look, breakdowns is part of the whole challenge. We saw it from the front of the grid all the way down to the back. It's part of what makes it exciting. If every car arrived at the finish line in perfect condition, in the same condition that it started in, it means that the challenge wasn't hard enough.
And you sometimes learn in difficult circumstances just where your limits are. And that is part of the practical experience.
Meanwhile, first-timers to the challenge, Solar Team Twente, breezed by. Their advantage? A water-cooled electric motor, an ingenious innovation that, as far as we know, is a world first. But with more than 100 kilometers ahead and the sun only getting hotter, the fight for the lead is far from over. The final loops of day 2 are complete, and teams head toward the finish line in Zeerust. After a grueling day, the leaderboard has shifted, and the fight for the top spot has never been closer. Brunel and Twente crossed the finish line side by side, both ending the day with 930.9 kilometers.
Good, we're doing great.
That's great.
We drove 4 loops, so we're quite happy about it.
Yeah.
We're probably provisionally gonna take over first place again.
Okay.
We're in quite early, and we did 1 loop more than the Belgians.
And while we started in 3rd place this morning, we actually managed to finish in 1st place, because we drove just as many loops as Twente did, so we're tied for the kilometers, but we arrived here just a few minutes before them.
But after a tough day battling power issues, Inoptis slipped into 3rd, only 8.5 kilometers behind their competition. Their bold performance on day 1 put them in control, but today, that lead is completely gone. Further down the pack, Team Umalanga's Razor stole 4th place, while Solaris struggles to make up crucial ground after the turbulence of the first 2 days.
Die topografiese elevatieprofiel was maar redelijk rof, maar dit is maar dag 2 ons het geweet het gaan kom. Ons het redelijk goed gegaan vir die gedeelte wat ons gery het. So ons kan nie kla nie. Ons het eintlik verder gegaan as wat ons beplan het om vandag te doen.
In the cruiser and innovation class, veterans Onda Solari continue to dominate, stretching their lead with 491 kilometers.
So we are very happy with this, and we are working for tomorrow, and we hope that tomorrow will go in the same way and we'll be able to clear all the 360 kilometers.
Carpe Diem moves into 2nd after EV Next arrived late to the finish, leaving their day's mileage untallied. And finally, after a slow start, Unisa gains momentum in 4th.
A bit relieved because the car was acting up, so now there's movement, there's improvement, a little bit of the choice. Yeah, I feel happy.
But the day's route isn't the only challenge. Tonight, teams face the marathon stage. A night under the stars with no support crews, no workshops, and only what they've carried into Park Vermeer with them. Tomorrow, the challenge continues, but first, they have to make it through the night with some serious repairs ahead.
The idea here is that some of the bigger teams, as you would have seen, have immense personnel. They have huge resources, lots of people. The car essentially goes into the garage and it gets worked on, extensively. Essentially, a new car comes out onto the start line every morning. Now, what this marathon stage does is create an element of complexity where you only have a limited time to assess what's the most important things to work on. And then you have to plan accordingly because you also only have a limited amount of time in order to do that work. So this forces the teams to say, okay, today's been a hard day, bumpy roads, up and down, a lot of driving. What is the most important thing for them to work on, to focus on, so that they can still run the car efficiently tomorrow? So essentially, the reason we call it a marathon stage is that you are doing 2 days with very minimal work in between. So you can't take the car into your garage and completely rebuild it and come to the start line with a new car tomorrow morning. And only having those 3 people means that you also have to ensure that the people who can do the most amount of work, or if you need a specialist, that you sacrifice somebody who's a generalist for a specialist. So it really adds a level of complexity this evening, and it forces the teams to kind of think on their feet and be very agile. It takes away the comfort element. You can't go to your campsite, make dinner, relax, and then say, okay, let's talk about it. We force the tempo a little bit tonight. Lisa now. Hello, Liz. Okay, teams, that is Lisa. You will present your 3 people to Liz. She will strap them with green bands, and then they may re-enter Park for May and start working. Your 4 hours starts now.
But despite their well-composed exterior, Brunel hides a crisis. A team used to working with unlimited resources now finds themselves with a major repair and only 3 teammates, limited tools, and the clock racing towards lights out. Inoptus faces a similar battle. Power challenges have already cost them the lead once today, and with the competition pulling further ahead, they can't afford another setback. For Twente, the chaos their competitors face tonight could be the perfect chance to strike tomorrow. For cruiser class, the night is off to a chaotic start. A last-minute rule change voted in by the teams allows all cruisers to charge while they make their repairs, but only until lights out. It should have been a lifeline, but instead, it's turning into a logistical nightmare.
Tripped. The mains power. Everybody here is drawing too much power. Well, it's a 13, I'm only drawing 13 amps, which is a standard plug. But the thing is, if everybody's drawing 13 amps, it'll trip the mains. And I think that's what's tripped.
The charging facility can't handle the load. Every time all the cars are plugged in, the power trips, throwing the teams into a frustrating cycle of restarts and adjustments. For some, every bit of charge they can squeeze in will make or break tomorrow's strategy. But with the clock ticking and power cutting in and out, it's a race against time before lights out leaves them all powerless in the dark.
Okay, everybody's trying. That's cool. That is absolutely amazing. Everybody's tripping, sure. Okay, that's cool. That's an even playing field. Trips happen and it's happened all right. I was fully aware of like the advantages and disadvantages of our car. And I kind of knew that if we are limited on charge, it actually advantages us. In our category, we had the smaller battery size. Like we had about 25% battery capacity of what they had. So if we're all allowed to have just 8 hours of charge and we just have 25% of what you have 75% of dead weight the next day. So to us, it's like, okay. And also seeing that type of aggression when it came to the charging points, I was like, okay, they are aware that if if they don't get more juice, they're carrying dead weight and they're gonna feel it on the road.
At the end of the night, whatever's done is done, and whatever isn't stays that way. Tomorrow, the road will show who made it through the night and who didn't. Day 3's start line, teams line up ready to chase the horizon.
We're ready to start day 3. We had a bit of a rough day 2. It was quite a long day. We finished late. Today we look to finish on time with even more kilometers.
Except for Brunel. Unable to fix their motor last night, they'll have to run on their backup for the remainder of the challenge. And in cruiser class, teams roll out knowing they didn't get the charge they needed, meaning today, every kilometer will be a battle. But the road doesn't wait. Day 3 begins now. Teams pull into Day 3's control stop in Freiburg, but on this very special Sunday afternoon, weather conditions have aligned almost perfectly for peak solar performance. Clear skies stretch overhead with no cloud cover to cast a single shadow. The temperature hovers in the sweet spot warm enough for efficiency without overheating battery systems. And with barely a whisper of wind, today, solar panels are feasting.
If you would like to script today for having a solar car competition, this is pretty much it. We're up in the northern part of the country, radiation levels are quite high, not too hot, maximum sun, not a cloud in the sky, minimal traffic.
With every loop, teams push harder, chasing efficiency, distance, and possibly records.
On a day like today, with the fact that we've got a 40-kilometer loop and we've got a long day already, I suspect we might see our all-time distance record in a day broken.
The big three, Brunel, Twente, and Anoctis, are locked in, gunning for the lead and harnessing the perfect conditions to test the limits of what their cars can do.
We'll see what comes out of today is potentially a new leader, will be interesting. You might potentially see teams up late tonight, and remember, tonight we give them tomorrow. Tomorrow's a half blind. They don't know where the control stop is, they don't know how long the loops is. So they could potentially go into a difficult day with a new leader, someone who's maybe showed, hey, the guys, this is what I got under my hood. And the other two might be thinking, okay, hang on a second, now we really have to think. Puts the cat amongst the pigeons. It makes it interesting. So, people always say, how can solar cars be a spectator sport? Well, if you understand what's going on, it's incredibly interesting. It's like,
they're not alone. All across the course, teams are making their moves, maximizing the weather, knowing that days like this don't come often.
So that's what's so interesting. Yes, we've got the front runners, we've got the guys who are caning it, but these guys are going to have their best day. They'll get back to the finish line and be like, shit, guys, we got 100 Ks today. It's our best day. We've never had 100 Ks. They'll probably be more amped than the leaders, because for them, they didn't think that their car could potentially do 100 Ks.
And there they come.
So, for them, it's just as important. They would go back and say, guys, we did it. Like, we did 100 Ks, we broke that triple figure mark. It's like somebody in their golf handicap when they do better than their handicap. So for these guys, this is the ultimate day.
For us as well, it's not this commercial sponsorship where we want to chase the winners. We want to inspire people. Come with what you have. You have a great car, come with that. We've got a platform for you. You got something you built in your garage, come with that. We've got a platform for you. Yeah, so I think that's what makes it exciting for us. And I can see this. I've been on the challenge now, this is my 4th time, and I can see how these kids are looking at these things and thinking, hang on, what are the challenges in my community, and how can I start making a difference through engineering?
That's what we want.
100%.
Inspire them.
Day 3 comes to a dramatic close, and with it, a new record. Inoptis Solar Team storms across the finish line, clocking a day's total of 672.9 kilometers, the longest single charge distance ever recorded in the Sasol Solar Challenge. Their comeback is complete. Twente and Brunel finished side by side with an accumulated challenge total of 1,579.9 kilometers, locked in a battle that refuses to let up. But today, neither could match Inoptis' relentless push. Further back, Team Mpumalanga's Razor extends their lead over the midfield, holding a steady 4th behind the international teams. In the cruiser and innovation class, Honda Solare continues to hold first, but despite last night's charging chaos, EV Next surges into 2nd place, overtaking Carpe Diem in kilometers covered.
Another one.
3 days down, 5 to go. The margins are tightening, the pressure is building, and if today proved one thing, it's that records are made to be broken. Day 4 marks the start of this year's half-blind stage. Unlike regular days, teams couldn't plan today's route weeks in advance. Instead, they got golden envelopes yesterday evening, revealing today's loop route.
You know the start, you know the finish, you know the route. You do know the control stop, but you don't know the blind. It's contained in these envelopes. It will also be WhatsApped on your team manager's WhatsApp group, the KML file. So if you don't have a KML reader, you're going to have to go and plot on Google Maps or whatever you need to do. But it is on here.
That means they've barely had 14 hours to analyze, strategize, and adjust their game plan. For local teams, they're going to lean into their home ground advantage and push towards the halfway mark of the challenge, today's finish line in Algrabi's.
Well, we knew the basic route. That was all. That stayed the same. It was just the circuit, the what's the name, the loops that were different. And we're not doing loops anyway. We're heading for the finish line. We're not heading for loops.
So it doesn't affect you.
We want to cross the finish line. That's all we want to do.
For the front runners, who've been relying on well-planned loops to stay ahead, the short notice meant making smart, fast decisions overnight. Under clear skies, teams cruise to the day's control stop with no major setbacks. For the smaller teams, today marks an important turning point. The day's weather has brought confidence, consistency, and crucial kilometers. After days of struggle, they've finally found their rhythm.
Yeah, in the cruiser class, yeah. I was surprised, actually. I was expecting a lot worse, but we didn't use the trailer at all, which is very good.
Oh,
yeah.
and already, and we're on day 4.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Hopefully it stays like this. Finger crossed. But actually, we have really high hopes that we're not going to use the trailer at all. So far now, we're on 42% of the battery. Yeah, so it's really good. Plus, we don't get the chance to charge it every day until maximum. I think the percentage that we reach is 80 something. So it's good to have 40% now.
Oh, hier ben ik, hier blij niet. Van hier is niks voor mij niet. En Appington wil ik blij. Van hier zie ik zo'n kaartjes. Je hebt een kaartje gezien mee lachen.
Today's control stop in Uppington features a 31.2 kilometer control loop, taking teams to the tiny rural town of Louisville and back. But here's the catch. Uppington may be beautiful, but it's bustling, with narrow streets, packed intersections, and plenty of traffic lights that teams will need to carefully navigate. For those bold enough to take the risk, there's a quick crossing over the Orange River and a stretch of rolling hills that could take your breath away and your battery. In a solar car, hills are a double-edged sword. You gain on the way down with regenerative braking, but climbing eats energy fast. Plus, a surprise rule change yesterday evening means teams are no longer allowed to arrive after 5:30 p.m. without severe penalties.
The day we entered Okrabi's, that was the best day ever. We had calculated that we might not make it to Okrabi's. We had calculated that we might just have to trailer just before the final point. There's this moment where he just like speeds into that off-road curve, and we're following him, and there's that feeling of like, yes, we made it against all odds. We made it. And also like the scenery there was amazing. So it's that whole frame of the car making it that day. That was, yeah.
Day 4 comes to a close, and for the first time in this challenge, Solar Team Twente is on top. After days of chasing, they've finally overtaken Brunel and Inoptus, closing out the day with 2,172.3 kilometers and proving they're here to win.
Yeah, it was a very good day. Very interesting. Of course, we had the half-blind stage today, so we had to prepare the loop in advance. But it was a very good day. We actually managed to really drive our strategy today, so that's very good. So really happy about it. Yeah.
Inoptus, now in second, follows closely behind while Brunel rounds out the top 3 just shy of the leaders. Further back, Team Mpumalanga's Razor continues to hold their place as the best of the rest.
You don't understand
the results.
And like, compared to where we were 2 years ago, man, like we could have an objectively bad day and I'll still be satisfied.
While Solaris and Genuine JV push on, determined to cover every kilometer they can. But the biggest moment of the day belongs to Team Mpumalanga's Carpe Diem. After 4 days of fighting to keep up, today was different. Today, they clocked 392.1 kilometers, their best day yet. A team that built their car with almost nothing now stands proudly along the best in the world. In the Cruiser and Innovation class, Honda Solari keeps their lead, while EV Next and Carpe Diem continue their battle for second.
And I had fun. No, I had the most fun today. I'm content. I'm happy. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. We finished.
How did it go, Pandili?
It went very, very well. Yeah, we managed to finish just on time today.
Started from the control stop, made it.
And yeah, we drove all the way from control stop here. No problems, none whatsoever.
As the sun sets on day 4, the leaderboard has shifted. The competition is tightening, and for some, this challenge is becoming more than just numbers. It's about proving they belong.
Can I ask why?
Yeah.
How do you feel about today?
Great.
And why do you feel great? Like,
because Carpe Diem is showing all these blokes how good it is.
oh wow.
Yeah.
You seem very, very proud.
Well, I built this car all on my own. And the team only got together 3 weeks ago. And we know nothing about racing. We've never been here before.
Wow.
And look at us, look at our figures.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
When the sun sinks into darkness and the cars are parked, the camp comes alive in a different way. Teams gather under the stars, repairing, recalibrating, and sharing stories and meals around fold-out tables and braais.
Had a general team briefing, and everyone is super soaked. It's awesome to be here together and also enjoy your food and relax after an intense day, because it's not nothing. It's a very challenging challenge, but I think everyone is coping very well, and this does really build excitement for the upcoming days.
Here, failures become lessons, teammates become family, and rivals become neighbors.
Happy birthday, Jericho! Happy birthday to you! Hip hip! Hooray!
This is the other side of the Sasol Solar Challenge, not the competition, but the reason. And for the students from Genuine JV, they get to work shoulder to shoulder with their parents, building more than just a car, but igniting a shared passion for creating something for themselves. It's a bond they'll carry for the rest of their lives. These are the moments that turn into something unforgettable. With over 1,000 kilometers to go before Cape Town, it's the quiet victories and shared meals under the stars that will push these teams through. And tomorrow, teams wake again to chase the horizon.